choices at the ballot box, which they did. Now, 4 years later, Conservatives in Action works far beyond Greenville. We're in York County, Newberry County, Lexington County, Charleston and Beaufort County, and yes, right here in Horry County. Why are we working across the state? It's because our conservative state is losing its way. What do I mean by that? Here are a few examples. Let's look at government spending. We've already heard of that. In just 3 years, our state government grew by 41%. They took $1.5 billion in a surplus fund, spent it, and when the nation's economy collapsed, they had to call a special session and go back in to cut the budget because they had spent everything. Several members of the legislature said, enough is enough. Let's pass a bill about government spending. Unfortunately, there were more legislators who decided rampant spending didn't matter, and the bill died. That's exactly why we need to get involved. Let's take a look at education, my topic for today's school choice. This year, most people don't realize South Carolina spent $7.5 billion on education. Unfortunately, only 43 cents of every dollar ever made it to the classroom. And yet we're being told, give us more money and we can do a better job. This last year, South Carolina spent $11,480 per pupil in government schools. North Carolina only spent $8,500, yet North Carolina has much better scores than South Carolina does.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my daughter and her two friends.
It's not because of the money, it's because their schools are run differently. Unfortunately, the South Carolina administrators will say that if you give us more money, or if you allow choice, if you don't give us more money, and if you allow choice, it will kill the public school system. Unfortunately, State Superintendent of Education, Dr. Rex, told a group of school teachers up in Greenville this last May. He told them without the stimulus money, South Carolina would lose 1,500 teachers, 1,500 jobs. But with the stimulus money, we might only lose 1,000. Well, I am a product of public education, but my math works out, okay, 500 teachers, we can save 500 teachers. Now the stimulus fund they're talking about is $780 million. More than $1 million per teacher's job. I guess I'm just at the point that I don't think that's the problem. I don't think money's the problem. Again, which is exactly why we need to get involved. We lose 1 out of every 2 children in South Carolina. We have less than or right at 50% graduation rate. And that is just something we can't tolerate and need to do something about. We do need to thank the legislators who protect our tax dollars and admonish those who don't. We need to remind the legislators that they work for the people and that the people don't work for them. We need to make sure that kids in the counties such as Allendale, Hampton, and other poor rural areas have the same opportunities as the kids in Horry, Lexington, and even Greenville. That's why I urge you to speak to your representatives and talk to them about the school choice bill. The school choice bill is Senate Bill 520 in the Senate. It's called the Educational Opportunity Act. It allows for a modest tax credit to any parent who chooses to educate their child in in a different public school than what they're zoned for, in a private school, in a parochial school, in a special needs school. We are taxed enough already. With statewide unemployment at 12.5%, we can't afford any more. Here in Horry County, I believe over 52% of your county budget goes to education, and yet we still lose one out of every two. So our government, from the State House to City Council to the Department of Education, needs to start working with the money that they have, not the money that they want. They need to find new ways of doing things instead of promoting methods that just happen. School choice is a passion of mine. I would be happy to speak to anyone to see what we need to do to educate legislators. I'm sorry to say that there is not one senator representing the Horry and Georgetown area that has signed on to that bill, nor made any recommendations. Most of your House members have, but not all. So I urge you to contact them. Please visit us at conservativesAct.com and join our efforts in educating people. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. And I hope that after everything you've heard and the speakers you're about to hear, you will realize that we need to get involved. And that's exactly why we need to get involved. And I'll close with saying we have a 1 in 17,000 chance of being born in this great country, of being born in the United States. And I believe we need to fight to keep the United States and our Constitution and our freedoms.